And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we have returned. We have returned with the grand finals of the 2025 KungFu Cup number 3 StarCraft Evolution Edition. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Brutal Terran. It is, for Shopify, ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player himself, the red Protoss, the SC2 Protoss for Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open, and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our final best of 5. Oh boy, as a reminder, this is going to be a prediction for the entire series, not for the game. So best of luck with those predictions as we jump into our best of 5. And we will have a new champion, MaNa and ByuN, two players that honestly don't really compete too often in StarCraft Evolution. We actually saw 2 weeks ago ByuN playing in StarCraft Evolution for the first time. He was playing for the first time. He admitted it himself. He was like, mate, I'm just playing for fun. I don't really have a lot of experience here. And we saw ByuN go down to skillless multiple times last week or 2 weeks ago in the last SEL tournament. But here in the KungFu Cup, ByuN, he was able to overwhelm, able to surpass skillless, and ByuN has had a crazy performance this week. Likewise, skillless got taken out by ByuN, Classic got taken out by MaNa. So both MaNa and ByuN have been performing very well tonight. They have taken down some of the favorites to win the entire event, and now they've found themselves in the finals. Let's go. Let us go. So now we have double gas opener. It's going to be racks into factory. Now ByuN, every game that we've seen from ByuN on ley lines with Brutal Terran, one base all in. So this should be a one base all in. He's going factory into second factory into machine shops into mass vulture, ion thrusters, spider mines, followed by tanks. One base all in out of ByuN. We'll see if MaNa can hold. We'll see if MaNa was watching, because ByuN did this same build against Mindo VK. He also did this same build against skillless. So ByuN has been very fond of this all in. It's all he's done with Brutal Terran, I'll be honest. Like, he's purely all in with Brutal Terran. Part of that is because he is less experienced with it and most likely not too confident. But there it is, ion thrusters on the way. It's going to be ion thrusters, second machine shop, spider mines, then potentially into tanks as a follow-up. MaNa back at home. Ooh, Stargate opener. That's going to be an interesting one. Remember, vultures and tanks, they don't shoot up. Marines do, but these are going to be vanilla Marines here. So defensively, I wonder how well Void Rays would perform against an all-in. Curious. I'm curious. Meanwhile, MaNa, he did somewhat scout. He saw the double gas. He saw the faster factory. Shield battery is done on the low ground. We have spider mines on the way. And here comes ByuN. Catching up in the chat. Is this the finals? Yes, this is the grand finals. So final series. Best of 5. Best of 5 grand finals between MaNa and ByuN. First Marine goes down. Nice pickoff. The wall is building up. Going Oracle first. Interesting choice. Going for the Oracle. ByuN's like, yo, what? You have a full wall. Goes to. Crazy. Yo, MaNa, he doesn't quite know what's going on yet. Vultures, they poke in. And we're waiting for the Spider Mine. Spider Mine's not ready yet. Vulture takes a lot of hits. Oracle's revealed. Marine's going to be going down. And MaNa is going to completely clean this up. Remember, no anti-air. Yeah, there's no anti-air here. The Marines will fall one after the other. We have the armory on the way from ByuN. And ByuN, he has to back off. He has to back off. He has to retreat. Looks like he's getting ready for Goliaths. Meanwhile, shows the spider mines. Shows as we try to focus down that initial stalker. Alas, it's a full wall. And the vultures, they are denied. You can see he's trying to throw down that spider mine on the other side. It doesn't work that way. You have a couple of spider mines. The worker's going to be going down. The Oracle does pop up. And ByuN is trying to force his way through. But again, the wall is just too solid. Oracle comes in, does focus down the vultures one after the other, and MaNa holds. MaNa completely shuts this down. ByuN is gonna be, ByuN, he has nothing left here. GG gets called, the all-in fails, and MaNa takes game number 1. GG. Sorry, I had to mute, I sneezed. Yeah, but MaNa does take a lead. Again, just a really solid defense there, able to completely wall off. Likewise, the Oracle was dealing critical damage across the map, and ByuN could do nothing. could do nothing aggressively. With that, that leads us into game number 2. Just catching up with the chat. What are the SE2 versus Brood War matchups for each of the 5 games? Terran and Protoss, if that's what you mean. Like the players aren't switching races, if that's what you're referring to. But what I will say is that the format here is different from StarCraft Evolution. If you are familiar with StarCraft Evolution, the way that StarCraft Evolution, the SEL League and most StarCraft Evolution tournaments, they're Brood War versus SE2 exclusively, and it's loser's pick. The loser gets to decide if they want to stick with their current race or switch to Brood War or switch to SE2, right? That's usually how this format works. For the KungFu Cup, the format is unique. It is different. For KungFu Cup, Game 1 is SE2 versus Brood War. Game 2 forces the switch, Brood War and SE2. So players that force the switch here. Because of that, MaNa is going to be playing Brood War Protoss, and ByuN... Okay, we're good. Whew. We're good. As we're getting, so we're forced to switch for game 2. Game 3 is going to be Brood War versus Brood War. That is something we haven't seen before. Strictly in StarCraft Evolution, Brood War is not balanced around Brood War versus Brood War, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. I'll be honest, it's gonna be a weird one. So we'll get there in game 3, and game 4 is SE2 versus SE2. So this is a more unique format, which does feature Brood War versus Brood War in KungFu Cup, which is something that we've never casted before on the channel. So we'll see how that goes. Again, it's not meant to be balanced, so we'll see. As sporting in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have our StarCraft 2 Terran player, our SE2 Terran from South Korea. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. How about game 5? Game 5 is whatever you prefer. Game 5, the players they get to pick and choose. So the ace matches, they pick and choose. They can both play Brood War. One can play SE2, the other can play Brood War, vice versa. Ace matches, whatever the players wish. It's just game 1 to 4 where it is forced certain matchups. So this is a unique format for the KungFu Cup. Again, maybe not the most balanced format, but unique nonetheless, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that it's a little bit more unique here. And we'll be able to feature that in game 3. For now, we do have our openers, single gas. ByuN is going for a Rax expand. We saw ByuN go for a 1-base all-in last game, but again, ByuN has been exclusively going for all-ins when he plays Brood War Terran, so when it comes to SE2, we should be seeing a more standard economic opener. And we'll see if MaNa can keep up. If you remember, the last time we casted ByuN on this map was his series against Skillous, where Skillous did have a hard time keeping up with the multi-pronged aggression. Again, Brood War Protoss, the biggest weakness for Brood War Protoss is its lack of mobility. You don't have, or the Prism isn't as mobile with its pickup range. Likewise, there's no recoil, at least not without the Arbiter, so recoil is a much later tech. Likewise, there's no Blink Stalkers, there's no Warping mechanic, so because of that, vision is paramount on for Brood War Protoss. Vision, scouting, spotter pylons, spotter zealots, observers, they are so important here in this matchup, and ByuN was doing a great job at denying vision and denying scouting from Skillous. My apologies, it was on Frostline, not on Amygdala. But if you remember in that series, ByuN, he was catching and sniping so many of Skillous' observers, and Skillous, as a result, had a really hard time catching out drops and keeping up and reacting to the drop play of ByuN. Now, we see something very different. MaNa, he doesn't open Robo, he opens Stargate. This is unique. With a Stargate opener, we can try to open Scouts. Scouts are not the best harassing unit, but I mean, I guess. The other option here that we have seen tonight is carrier rushes. We could rush into like a fleet beacon into carrier, but that would be crazy. I don't know if MaNa is willing to embrace that. We'll see. But that is how Spirit lost. Like Spirit did drop his series of carrier rushes. Here we go. Scout is on the way. Now I believe a Scout 3-shot an SEV. I think it's 3-shot. So so harassing Scouts, they can be somewhat effective. They're not amazing, but they can be okay. They're not as mobile as oracles by any means. But we'll see if we open up double scout. Yeah, as the scout is rallied here into the main. So it looks like a double scout opener out of MaNa. First scout has arrived. Yep, second scout's on the way. So with 2 scouts, you can 2-shot. Again, it takes 3 scout shot. I guess with 3 scouts, you can 1-shot. But with 2 scouts, you can 2-shot. Those workers. MaNa going to be forced back. I don't know if MaNa is willing to invest into a 3rd scout. Like, that's a pretty big investment. Bearing in mind that scouts will not actually be too effective when it comes to main army defense. They're not really amazing when it comes to just their anti-ground attacks against Marines, against just units in general. On the flip side, they have amazing anti-air. So that's the difference between like a scout opener and an oracle opener, right? Oracles, they can almost exclusively harass and they can scout with revelation, but scouts, their anti-air is actually pretty insane. So this would be a really good way to actually shut down medevacs. So in my mind, initially I was thinking, oh, like we can harass, right? We can harass, we can 2-shot SCVs, we can do some economic damage. But actually MaNa, he's not using them to harass, he's using them for drop defense, which I think is a unique approach. As MaNa is in position. And again, like he's searching for drops. He's not harassing with them. And that is a unique approach to the problem that is Brood War Protoss. As we mentioned, like drop play can pull a Brood War Protoss player apart. But scouts, I guess, are MaNa's answer to that. Scan into the main, reveals the Stargate, reveals the gateway explosion. Citadel is done, working towards Storm, and charge. So charge shots and Storm on the horizon here, not Reaver. Scouts, they poke in. Again, they 2-shot SCVs. 1 SCV goes down, he gets 1, he gets almost 2. Medevac does complicate things, gets a Marine. Gets a Marine, takes a bit of hull damage, and the scout does pull back. So nothing major. And so far it's important here that he maintains these scouts. We have a 3rd scout on the way. As again, it's on MaNa to contain the Terran. They're still giving bonus points for building scouts? No, not in this tournament. Remember, that is only for StarCraft Evolution League. This is KungFu Cup. So different tournament, different format, different rules. There is no scout bonus. So this is MaNa just opening scout. And again, which is why I feel like it's really, really unique and really interesting. Meanwhile, ByuN does break out, catches 2 Dragoons already. Nice pickups, he's gonna get all 3. Yeah, Lockwood is brutal. Takes out another 2 Dragoons. 4 Dragoons go down. ByuN, he breaks out, and MaNa's in a bit of trouble here. Storm is not ready. We need Storm. Storm is only halfway done. Remember, there's no chrono. ByuN moves out. As he moves out, scouts, they attempt to harass. But ByuN's not going to turn around for 3 scouts. That's not going to happen. MaNa's in trouble. Yeah, ByuN, he stims in. MaNa, he needs more time. He evacuates. He evacuates the expansion nodes. He cannot save it. Light Templar! No, Light Templar! Oh my god. Barely doesn't get them. High Templar do survive. Loken is brutal. High Templar barely makes it out, and the base is going to fall. Yeah, ByuN drops into the main. Scouts, they do get some SCV kills, not bad. Meanwhile, he's going for Storm. Storm will finish, thankfully. Storm does complete. Boys are being pulled. Oh god, we're losing so many workers here. It's brutal. So many workers go down. Likewise, High Templar, they try to respond. Their base does fall. No storms yet. Okay, he's holding onto those High Templar. There's a scan. MaNa's trying to hold on across the map with other scouts. The scouts are cleaned up. Does get some good economic damage. Brings ByuN down to 34 CVs. But MaNa, he has no dive potential. He needs more zealots. Yeah, he slips in. Ooh, takes a storm to the face. Massive. Oh my god, massive storm. Against storms, they hit different. Shuts down the ByuN, shuts down the Marines. DT goes for the tanks. And the first tank is gonna go down. Nice pick off. Gets 1 tank. MaNa, he's gonna hold on. Yeah, he will hold. 1 tank left, down to 0. Whew, clutch defense here by MaNa. And again, ByuN, he lost so many SCVs to those scouts. He lost how many? He lost 22 against the 29 dead workers of MaNa. MaNa, he's double expanding. He's double expanding. Mind Drop is coming in. Hey, he still has that one scout, true. That one scout did survive. It's got 8 kills, 8 SCV kills. You can just see how much damage it does here to the medevac, and MaNa is going to hunt it down. Try to, at least. As ByuN, he is deflected. He will escape. MaNa going to be counterattacking. He still has those 2 High Templars, still has Storms. And we'll see if MaNa can get away with that double expand. ByuN back at home is licking his wounds. He's still recovering. Did take a lot of losses. Without any defensive tanks, can MaNa break the natural? If he had some more Zealots, I think he could, but the Zealot count is really low. And he's heavily right. Oh no! Oh, he's gonna lose High Templar. Brutal pickup. High Templar goes down. Now he has that many less Storms. Oof. Macho going up. Storm on the ByuN. There's 1 Storm left. Oh my god, massive Storm! Storm goes up, but it's not gonna be enough, and ByuN, he will hold. He will hold on. Imagine 1 more Storm. Could have been enough. Yeah, MaNa is going to lose everything here. He bleeds out the entire army. Scout as well. Oof. He'll lose everything. A big overcommitment here from MaNa. MaNa, he plummets in supply. Does plummet. He's trying to rebuild his Templar archives. He has 0 High Templar left, 0 Storm. This is a late reaction out of MaNa. A late realization. And ByuN is in a better position. He's in a better position here. Again, ByuN is building up a very cheap army. MaNa's army is more expensive. All these Dragoons, all these High Templar. Much more expensive force here for MaNa. No hero wall today. No, not today. Not today. Not this time. As ByuN is pushing, and ByuN has an overwhelming army. Now, outside of taking some massive Storms to the face, ByuN should have enough to overwhelm. MaNa is making 6 High Templar at a time. That is true. Is making those High Templar. But he needs more time to build up that energy. Mind Shot's about to be going up. Brutal connections. MaNa, he has to pull back. He bleeds out those Zealots. Takes down the medevac at least. Does take down the medevac. MaNa pulls away. At the same time, Mind Drop coming in. Sorry, Marine Drop even. MaNa, he has a cannon. Does have a cannon to defend. And ByuN, he will break the expansion. Again, just so many Marauders. Such a Marauder heavy composition. Goes filing across the map. And MaNa, he tried to recover. He's not going to. He's not going to recover. ByuN, he has enough to overwhelm. Again, it was just a really rough start for MaNa to lose the 3rd base initially. If MaNa had saved the 3rd, then a different game state, sure, but he just gave it up. I mean, he couldn't hold on. ByuN stims in. Still respecting those Storms. Oh, coming in with the EMP. Oh my god, it goes to the EMP drop. Takes down the Storms. And ByuN, he overwhelms. He does overwhelm. There's no High Templar left. Takes down the Archons, collapses on the Archons. Collapses on the Dragoons. Heads towards the 3rd base. And ByuN is overstimmed. True, heavily overstimmed. There's a scan for the Dark Templar. Catches both. Collapsing on those Dragoons. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will tap the series 1-1. Whew. Does tie things up. Again, a very intense game. We saw MaNa attempt to hold on, but we saw that, alas, the scout opener did leave a little bit much to be desired. Was able to cripple the economy, that is true, but he couldn't really slow down the push. He couldn't slow down the main army, and that's what mattered in the end. ByuN, he was able to break that 3rd base before Storm was complete, and he just pulled MaNa apart from there. Storm was so close to finishing, but barely not done in time, and without Storm, MaNa couldn't hold. Could not hold. With the death of that 3rd base, that was game then and there, almost. We saw that MaNa was able to do some counter damage with the scouts, but it wasn't enough. Was not enough. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a tied series, and we're getting into game number 3. As a reminder, this is a unique format for this tournament. Game 3 is Brood War versus Brood War, something that we haven't seen before. Now, the reason why we haven't seen this before is because this game mode, StarCraft Evolution mod is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. For those that are curious, this game mod is patched quite regularly, like almost on, I would say, a monthly basis, sometimes multiple times a month. But it has a lot of support behind it. It has a lot of care put into it as well, of course, and it is balanced specifically for SE2 versus Brood War. That is what is taken into consideration when it comes to balancing the units, balancing the army, adjusting certain numbers, of course. There is maybe a misconception. Some people might think that this is a direct port of Brood War units to SE2. That is not true. It was originally ported over as a direct port, and then it has been adjusted to make it balanced, right? To balance out the armies, to balance out the units, the numbers between the two races, between SE2 and Brood War. So that is why we're not supposed to see Brood War versus Brood War here. But again, in this tournament, it is a more unique, I mean, again, it's a unique format. We get to experience it here and now. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa from Poland. ByuN with his muscles. True. Exactly. Let's go. And again, ByuN, he did say that he was going to surpass Impact. True. Did say that. That's a bold claim. Like, Impact is looking crazy good right now. Like, he's... I mean, I say right now, for quite a number of years at this point. Insane. We'll see if ByuN can catch up. This is when the next, like, a year from now, the like Korean like pro scene, they're all just gonna be jacked. Like, I'm picturing ByuN, I'm picturing like Maru as well. It's gonna be crazy. For now though, we do have our initial setup here. Is going to be Economic Opener out of MaNa, and ByuN for the first time with Brood War Terran, Rax Expand. Okay, Rax Expand Economic Start here from our Terran player. Now, I don't really favor ByuN coming into the mid game in this kind of in Brood War Terran versus Brood War Protoss. I'll be honest, I do favor MaNa coming into this, but that's only because we haven't really seen ByuN attempt to macro much at all when it comes to Brood War Terran. He's often going for all-ins. He's often just cheesing, going for all-ins. So I'm curious to see how he plays this out and how he does embrace that mid-game. Are we going to go into mech? Are we going to go into double factory, into triple factory, into like massive ultra production, into mech? Mech is viable, very much so. We could see ByuN instead. For now, Rax into factory. This feels like mech. If this was ByuN, we'd see a second Rax, a third Rax, and an academy to rush into Stim. Stim would be a big prioritization for ByuN. Meanwhile, MaNa, Jesus, rushing into a third Nexus. Third Nexus before any tech, before the second gateway, before a robo, before anything. Very greedy. Very greedy out of MaNa. Well, inside of ByuN, as we assumed that because there was no second Rax, it's mech. It's going to be mech here, second factory's on the way. So ByuN is going to mech it up with vultures, of course. Meanwhile, MaNa is being hyper greedy, and we'll see if ByuN can punish this greed. I mean, ByuN has no scouting. That's the other problem here, is that ByuN, he's going to have to rely on the vulture to get any kind of vision. He's sending out his Overlord, I guess. He's sending out his Rax, and that will give him some information, but ByuN didn't even SEV scout. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky here for ByuN. We should be seeing ion thrusters. There we go. Vulture production into siege mode for a moment, but does cancel. There we go. Ion thrusters on the way. That is going to be vulture speed. Embracing mech. Maybe ByuN slept less than 3 hours today. True. ByuN, ByuN, he played in the Hub Cup in the morning, then he played in Total Tussle, then he went to the gym, then he got a little bit of sleep, and then he woke up here. But ByuN, at the same time, he's used to having no sleep. Like, he's an animal. Like, ByuN, he's a pure degen, so he might be on low hours of sleep, but that's when ByuN plays his best. He lags it, man. He lags it. Oh, are we opening up Wraith? Control tower is done. What is our plan here? Does ByuN even know what he's going for? We're going to be opening up with our initial Wraith. Are we going to invest into Cloak? Show us what you got. Oh, okay, dropship. Dropship first. Going for a Vulture drop. Meanwhile, the Rex does get eyes. Oh, actually doesn't fully get eyes on the third Nexus. Meanwhile, we do have Dragoon production well underway. Getting into Shuttle, getting into Reaver drop. So Reaver drop from our Protoss player. ByuN moving in. Oh god, those Vultures are so fast. They're so speedy. Oh my god. Gets into the mineral line, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. 3 probe kills. Up! Spider-Mans to go off. Massive connection. Toss the Dragoons away. Drop the right hand side. And we're opening up heavily here into initially Vulture, then into tank production. We're going to be building up tanks, armories on the way for upgrades, working towards siege mode. ByuN is building up. Meanwhile, we spoke about the control tower, and yes, it is for Wraiths. So it is going to be a dropship into Wraith. Vulture drop into the main. MaNa doesn't spot this, out of position. And we see the Vultures, oh, they're gonna camp the production. Spider Mines are set, heads towards a mineral line. Yeah, ByuN just trying to pull his opponent apart. Against Spider Mines, they do not connect onto workers, but they connect onto the Dragoons. And Dragoons say, oh no, they pop out. Ooh, they take the shots to the face. Vultures, they fight head on. Meanwhile, across the map, ByuN does pull away in time. We have the Reaver drop here into the mineral line. Ooh, massive connection. Oh, good shot's gonna be going off, but the Wraith will shut down the shuttle. Oh my god, as we get another shot here into the mineral line. Meanwhile, the Vultures are cleaned up. MaNa, he defends. MaNa, he defends, so does ByuN. As it all settles, MaNa still ahead in workers, and remember, these spider mines, they don't connect on workers. So the workers, they can actually just freely mine over the spider mines like this. Like this. We're all friends here. We're all friends. The spider mines and the workers, we're all good. Spider mines, they technically workers are floating units, so spider mines, they don't detonate onto workers. Same with Vultures. I believe Vultures are technically floating as well. Or like hovering. They're not touching the ground. Oh. As you see MaNa breaking out, he has detection. We'll shut down all these spider mines. Breaks through. ByuN attempting a counterattack. And he will keep MaNa back. Siege mode is being researched. Getting to +1, embracing more mech. ByuN will slip in. He can one-shot probes. Gets a handful of them. Gotta be locked down. Gets a couple more worker kills, not bad. It gets 4 in total. Whew, now we can calm down. We can calm down, we can settle in, and now as we take a moment here to kind of take stock, MaNa, he has purely a gateway composition. He lost his Reaver and he hasn't replaced it, so there's still no additional Reavers here. Cannon to clean up all those Widow Mines, all the Spider Mines. So just a gateway army. Likewise, ByuN back at home, going pure tank Vulture, at least initially. Spider Mines are set, and I'll be honest, I don't think MaNa can break this. He's gonna try to go for it. He has Zeltier in that shuttle, so he can go for a drop. Ooh, Observer goes down. Observer does fall. Jesus. Yeah, there's just no breaking this position. And he's fully set up. MaNa going for a Zealot drop, spots the rotation. MaNa is aware. He's keeping up. Keeping up with the Dragoons. Going to +1 air attack, going into carrier production. Let's go. He's going for Sky Toss. I was waiting to see. I was like, are we going to go back into Storm? Are we going to go into Reavers? Like, what's the plan for MaNa? The plan is Sky Toss. His carrier. Oh, mass Spider Mines here in between the bases. We'll be catching reinforcements. Yeah, Dragoon's going to be going down. Oh, there are so many Spider Mines in the middle line. It's going to go down. There's no saving this. At the same time, MaNa, he does push in. Dives on top of the tanks. Tanks are going to be falling, at least some of them. Oh my god. But ByuN should be able to hold on. Cleans up all the Dragoons, shuts them down. Meanwhile, these vultures are just getting out of hand. Diving into the main, they take down the cannon. They should throw down another wave of spider mines, if they have them available. Some of them do. Yeah, workers are going to be falling. ByuN breaks through the center. He's going for the kill. Yeah, alas, MaNa, he cannot build up. He cannot get close to that Skytoss army. It's not going to happen. Oh my god. More spider mines. More camping of the production. GG gets called, and MaNa, he just cannot deal with this. ByuN will take a 2-1 lead. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, God. That's like getting into our next game. Messaging ByuN. I'm like, your Brutal is so strong. And ByuN's like, why am I so Gosu? I can't lose. ByuN's like, I can't help it. I just win. It's crazy. ByuN. I can't stop winning. I'm like, oh, time to play in the Superstar League. Let's go. So we're getting to our next game. As a reminder, game 4 is going to be SE2 versus SE2. Here we go. We are getting ready here for the StarCraft 2 variation. And we'll see if we can go all the way to the ace match. Personally, I would love to see an ace match between these two players. But this is going to be a tough one for MaNa. I will say that MaNa has been looking very impressive in PvTs as of late. He has gotten some big wins under his belt, but can he bring down ByuN in StarCraft 2? Ooh, it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. As our players are preparing, just making sure we have everyone invited, everyone involved, and our next game is going to be on Frostline. Here we go. And if we make it to the ace match again, the players, they can pick and choose whether or not they want to play SC2 or Brood War. If we can get there. That's the last MaNa. He was just torn apart by the speed of those vultures. And again, like, the game isn't meant to be balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. You know, the mobility of that vulture-based army was crazy. MaNa having a very hard time keeping up. But now we're loading into Frostline. Can play Brutal well. For sure, he can. He can. And now spawning into the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Terran player, the SE2 Terran, leading the series 2-1, one game away from becoming this week's KungFu Cup champion. Can he claim that KFC? Can he get that chicken? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. Again, MaNa is up against the wall. One more loss and he is out of the event. We'll see if he can bounce back. I see in the chat, SC2 versus SC2, yes. So once again, just to reiterate, for those that are just now tuning in, this is a unique format for the tournament. Basically, in the finals of this tournament, Game 1 is SC2 versus Brood War, Game 2, Brood War versus SC2, so they switch. Game 3 is Brood War versus Brood War, and Game 4 is SC2 versus SC2. So they do kind of mix and match the matchups, and they do force quote-unquote mirror matchups for the game mode. So that is a unique feature here. Is a unique feature of the KungFu Cup. This is not done in StarCraft Evolution League, but this is being done here in KungFu Cup, just as a way to mix it up. I appreciate the unique format. It does lead to some different kind of pairings, of course. Just yeah, all good, all good, Chappy, all good. And we'll see how our players will approach this. Double gas. Okay, double gas open out of ByuN, going Rax into Factory. Going for a more aggressive start. This could lead into a mine drop. This could lead into early Cyclone. This can lead into a tank drop as well. So the ball is going to be in ByuN's court. MaNa, back at home, going for a standard opener. Gate, Cyber, into Nexus. So standard open out of MaNa. Again, now we can kind of embrace SC2 versus SC2, something we're a little more familiar with when it comes to our builds. And we'll see what tech choice MaNa goes for. Stargate, Robo, or Twilight Council. All three tech options are viable here. We are loading into a larger map, so I'm sure MaNa is tempted to open up Stargate, but there it is, a Twilight Council out of MaNa. So it should be Blink. So Blink-based opener out of MaNa. We'll see if he goes for 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker. Depending on the gateway count, will depend on how aggressive he wants to be, or how economic. So Blink-based opener out of MaNa. Meanwhile, ByuN looks like he's going for a mine drop. Yeah, it looks like he's setting up for that Widow Mine drop, is making Widow Mines. Starport is on the way, getting ready for that drop play. Meanwhile, ByuN does dive into the main. Going to be deflected. He is deflected by the Sentry Opener. Hallucination moves out. Thanks to the Sentry Opener out of MaNa, he will get a full scout of everything that's going on. He will confirm the 111. He will confirm the timing of the CC. And I believe he'll also confirm the Widow Mine, which is burrowed behind the command center. Hallucination doesn't quite confirm the mine, but does see the setup. Sees he following add-on, and yep, confirms Widow Mine. And mine drop goes off, so is aware of the mine drop. MaNa knows. MaNa, he knows what's coming. Sends out a second hallucination. Is going to be a tech lab on that factory. Hallucination will confirm whether or not this is an add-on swap into Banshee. So that's, speaking of add-on swap into Banshee, it's happening. ByuN can open up Raven, but Banshee openers have been very trendy. Oh, speaking of, Raven first here by ByuN, not Banshee, and the hallucination should confirm the add-on swap. So from here, I mean, both are viable, so MaNa could be thinking of either one, but there is nothing researching on that tech lab, so he's aware there's at least no cloak. Widow Mine drop is coming in for ByuN, headed towards that natural, and MaNa's ready. MaNa, he's ready for this, for the most part. Does pull away. Oh, ByuN, he doubles back for a moment, pulls back around once again, doesn't go for the boost. Oh, but he is going to be locked down. ByuN trying to be cheeky, breaks off into the main, does break off, goes to the mine drop. MaNa does pull away in time. He will lose two, but he'll just lose one probe, and MaNa defends. MaNa does defend back at home, add-on swap once again. So just going to be a very safe opener here into Raven, into tanks. This also means if MaNa did open up Dark Shrine, then there'd be a Raven to completely shut that down. Of course, ByuN did confirm the researching Twilight Council, so he knows he can now move out with Auto Turret Harass. So just really safe play here by ByuN, following this up with Biotank. Biotank production. MaNa, he will take his extra gases. Interesting. This is a little bit more old school. This was how many gates? 2 gates. So it was 2-gate Blink into 4 gases into the Bay before the 3rd expansion. So late 3rd base from MaNa in favor of faster Colossus. So once again, just really safe, secure play. This is a little bit more old school. This was a lot more popular a couple of years ago. Less so in modern day and in modern StarCraft. Nowadays, players, they prioritize charge over Colossus. So great to see something a little bit different here from MaNa. As Accidental Lance is on the way, Colossus production will soon begin. We're can see ByuN back at home getting to stim, getting to +1. Raven does go for the mineral line. And gets a couple of workers, not bad. Oh, as the probes, they do not pull away. That's going to be 5, 6 probe kills. Getting up to almost 7. MaNa, he does have archive vision, but there are 2 tanks. There's tanks in the main. MaNa, there's no way in. Does at least confirm that with the observer. ByuN, he sees it. Yeah, he sees the observer. He wants it. Oh, and he will get it. Oh, he will not actually. Nice save. Whew. MaNa blinks in. Saves the observer. ByuN, he pulls away. Heads across the map. Oh. Spinny does get another 2 probes. Likewise, double drop into the main. MaNa not quite in position. Does have some warpins available, thankfully. Likewise, blinking into the main base, going for combat shields. Oh, he will deny. Not bad. Combat shields is barely denied, but ByuN, he gets into the mineral line. He stims in. Probes are going to be going down. That is already too much damage. 11 probes. Oh my god. 11 workers go down. Nice kiting here against the Zealots. And MaNa, he was just out of position. He was not ready for this. He was not expecting it dropping to the main. It's being shut down, bleeding out more and more Stalkers. The Marauders, they trade very well against this to take down almost every single Stalker. No anti-air. The medevac escapes. Medevac does drift away. Takes down most of the Stalkers. I'm afraid to look at the trades here. That was 5 Stalkers going down. 5 Stalkers, 9 probes, 2 Zealots and a Sentry. And here comes ByuN. Here comes the main army, and MaNa, he is struggling. He does still have the Colossus though. And the Colossus, they do mean that the main army is still looking quite robust. Not the most mobile army, but he's ready here at the 3rd. ByuN moves out, he scans, confirms that there's not much in the main. The army must be elsewhere. MaNa breaking out, massive swipes here on the ByuN, late siege. And MaNa, I think he should barely hold on, it's going to be close. Yeah, bleeds out his supportive units. ByuN with the dive, doesn't get the Colossus. Doesn't get it. MaNa holds. Whew. MaNa, he barely holds on. And again, in a head-on fight, MaNa, he can trade well. He can trade well for himself. It's these split pushes where he can struggle. MaNa, he holds. He now has a 3rd Colossus. ByuN has to back off, takes his 3rd base, gets saturated, and MaNa confirms with the observer. Does confirm. Up. As the Raven pulls away. MaNa is going to try to punish ByuN. I mean, MaNa did take a better fight. MaNa still has 3 Colossus, and ByuN, he is vulnerable. At least a little bit more so than previously. He has no tanks. He has 1 bunker. Sorry, he has 1 tank at the 3rd. Bunker at the natural. Does run into the army. Oof. We'll take some extra shots. Trades relatively well against the Stalkers. Decent kiting. MaNa still moving forward, still trying to commit in. Again, nice swipes with the Colossus. But as time goes on, we have Vikings on the way. More Marauders as well, making 3 Marauders at a time. MaNa trying to go for the kill. Zealots, they peel off, they run into the tank. Boys are being pulled. And ByuN, he's going for the dive. He wants a Colossus. He stims in, he gets 1. He gets 1, he gets 2. Oh, he's gonna shut this down. Yeah, the collapse is brutal here. There's 1 Colossus left. Vikings, they pop up. Oof. And MaNa has to get the hell out of here. He does get some economic damage, that is true, but can he escape with the army? He can. Whew, he does pull out, does pull away. ByuN, he's down 20 SCVs. That was some good economic damage here out of MaNa, but he is vulnerable. He is vulnerable. He lost 2 Colossus. He has to rebuild the Colossus gun as quickly as possible. As ByuN, he could still pull off a push. Like, ByuN still has a massive army. MaNa getting a 4th. Saves a Colossus, now getting a 3rd. 3rd Colossus on the way. MaNa leaves a little bit more time. And ByuN is waiting for his ghosts. He's waiting for the EMPs. before he moves out. Jeez, the mule hammer. Oh my god. The mules are insane here. So ByuN, he's still looking solid economically. Still looking good. You can see here, once the mules were dropped, the economy does skyrocket ahead in favor of ByuN. MaNa gets spotted. Prism is seen. Ooh, okay, so the Vikings, they peel off to deal with the War Prism. That means the Vikings are not going to be with the main army to deal with the Colossus. Vikings are looking for that Prism.
Additional supply depots required.
And they will find it. Prism goes down. Nice pick off. Now the Vikings can reinforce. As they will spot the Zelts as well. Zelts are spotted. ByuN, he's just banking his reinforcements. Oh, lose the medevac. Medevac goes down. The Zelts get caught. Nice kiting. ByuN can now focus on this push. Forces a recall here into the third. A nice snipe on the medevac, so it does get a Colossus. Yeah, better trade for ByuN. He bleeds out 2 medevacs for Colossus. Trading with the Stalkers. Alas is going to get surrounded. MaNa, he's holding on, getting another Colossi. Still no Disruptors, which is concerning. He's actually getting a 4th Colossus. Let's go. Did I say 4? Getting up to 5. This is a little bit excessive. Getting up to 5 Colossi. Now, 4 Colossus you can make an argument for, especially against ByuN's composition of a very heavy Marauder count. Typically against Marines, Colossus they do overkill and it's just a little bit too much. But against the Marauders you can make an argument. And maybe MaNa, he assumes he's going to be bleeding out Colossus because there's going to be another Colossus going down. So just making as many Colossus as he can to replace the ones that he's losing. Viking Colossus coming in. MaNa not taking a bad fight here. And collapse on the Marauders, takes down a tank. Nice pick off. ByuN has to pull out, has to pull away. MaNa, he's going for it. He's trying to. Alas, he's out of zealots. He's overextended. He does overextend. Another Colossus goes down. And another. Down to 2. Expensive losses there for MaNa. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's on 4 bases. The planetary's up and running. MaNa trying to get his own 5th base up and running as well. As MaNa's trying to keep up economically, but these are still rough losses. And finally, we have some kind of alternate splash damage. I was waiting for Disruptors. It's going to be Storm. So Colossus alongside Storm instead for MaNa. And that will be better. But is it enough? ByuN sees the expansion. He locks onto the base. He wants it. MaNa, he double expands. Recognizes that he will most likely lose one of them. Oh, and the mineral line's going to get caught out. Yeah, the base is going to go down. Unfortunately, there's no cancel. MaNa, he just gives up on the expansion. Nexus will fall. MaNa pulls away. Pulls away. ByuN stems in. Oh, nice EMP. EMP's on the Colossus. EMP goes off. Colossus is going to be going down. He gets 1, he gets 2. And the Vikings are going uncontested. They're going for another Colossus. Yeah, brutal EMP. Storm is done. But there's no Storm ready. Yeah, there's no another EMP. EMP goes off. No Storms. And ByuN does it. He breaks through the defensive line. Takes down the main army. MaNa has nothing left to defend. GG gets called. And ByuN, he will take the series 3-1. Becoming, for the first time, a KungFu Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will claim his first StarCraft Evolution win and will claim the KFC. He gets the KFC, Poppy, claims the first win. GG, well played, congratulations. ByuN will take down MaNa. Shout out to MaNa. MaNa had a very strong performance, making it here to the finals, but ByuN was able to surpass him, was able to bring him down. Whew. GG, well played. Very well played here. Congratulations. Hold on. I need a message. Let's go. As we have the tournament run of our players here, we have ByuN. ByuN takes down Skillus. That was the first big win. The first big win was ByuN cheesing the hell out of Skillus in the quarterfinals. And likewise, they would bring him down. It takes down MaNa and takes down MaNa in the grand finals. Purely TvP. Purely TvP. So big wins there out of ByuN. Didn't have to rely on TBT or TVZ. Not in this event. Again, there were no Zerg players. No Zerg players. Dark was the only notable Zerg, and Dark didn't play. Dark, he did give a walkover in the first round, so he did not quite play in the event. Oh, hold on. But yes, Dark, he didn't quite play in the event, so instead it was purely Terran and Protoss. Purely Terran and Protoss instead, and ByuN, he was able to have a crazy performance. Some of the other favorite players, they struggled. Classic did go down to MaNa in a PvP, so that was a big win for MaNa. Likewise, Spirit got knocked out very early on. Spirit got cheesed out by, oh god, what was his name? By, I want to say Skrillex, not Skrillex. Skunix, I think it was. I think it was Skunix. So I asked ByuN, I was like, yo, are you gonna play Warcraft 3 Evolution? Or yeah, you're gonna play Warcraft 3 Evolution, the mod. And he's like, he's never played Warcraft, so it's gonna be hard. I'm like, you'll be fine, Bob, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see if ByuN is animated to play in next week's Warcraft 3 Evolution tournament. We'll see. But yeah, Spirit, he got cheesed out early on. Likewise, Classic got knocked out by MaNa. Dark never played, so the typical favorite players that we expected were not quite able to make those deep runs, and as a result, we had a new pairing in the finals with ByuN and MaNa. GG, very well played. Hope to see more of them in the future. And when it comes to next week's tournament, as I was just alluding to, the reason why I asked ByuN about Warcraft 3 Evolution is that next week, as you can see the title, this is the KungFu Cup number 3 SC Evolution Edition. Next week is Warcraft 3 Evolution. The plan is to alternate. So this week, SC Evolution, next week, Warcraft 3, week after that, StarCraft, week after that, Warcraft 3. So they plan on alternating back and forth between the mods. If you haven't heard about Warcraft 3 Evolution, it is likewise similar to this mod, where it incorporates the Warcraft 3 races into StarCraft 2, and they face off against each other, also balanced between Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. It is, I would say, a lot, I would say it's a little bit less refined. It's a little bit less refined as a mod, but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and it's crazy chaotic. As you can imagine, the Warcraft 3 units are very powerful. They're very tanky. They do a lot of damage to make up for the lower unit count. So the unit count is lower for Warcraft 3, but they're more powerful to compensate. And heroes are a big factor. Really, you can see like a hero make or break a fight. Like mate, I'm still, every time I just think of the Mountain King and the Mountain King and the Thunderclap every time. It's or just AoE in general, whether it's that, whether it's the Flame Strike from the Sage, from the Spellcaster, whether it's the Lich going for the Frost Nova, like Frost Nova from the Lich. And I'm thinking of one other, Blizzard from the human wizard character as well. But like the hero AoE damage is crazy. It's like it's insane what it does to StarCraft armies. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely something different, something more unique. Check it out. Do check it out. So we have VODs on YouTube relating to Warcraft 3 Evolution, the mod, I should say, in StarCraft, and we're going to be featuring it next week in the next KungFu Cup. Thunderclap plus Zerglings equals better than Disruptor hits. Unironically, yes. Because the difference is that the Thunderclap is instant. And you can spam it as well because it costs mana, right? It costs mana, so I mean, I say you can quote unquote spam it. It does have a cooldown, I believe, but like it's just crazy. Just the instant damage. The finger licking good. Exactly. He gets the KFC. Every time I cast KungFu Cup, I get hungry and then I want some KFC back. Smooch. One day. That's how he got taught into playing SEL. There you go. That's how it worked. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Again, just something more unique and a little bit more fun, a little bit more laid back is this mod. And hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. We're going to be back tomorrow, checking our weekly schedule here. What is our is tomorrow the podcast? No, tomorrow is Thermal's 2v2 circuit. Oh my god, tomorrow morning even. 9 AM KST, that's going to be 11 AM AEST. We are going to be covering the replays of Thermal's 2v2 circuit. Again, this is the March edition. We did admin the event over the weekend, and now we are here to cover it here on the channel in a couple of hours' time. That is going to be in 9.5 hours. So 9.5 hours, we're going to be live with Thermal's 2v2 circuit, so do tune into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I should be having a cheeky ladder session afterwards, so look forward to that. The Smoge is going to be real, but I'm most likely going to be laddering after Thermal's cast. Likewise, Saturday we have the Pondcast, and on Sunday we have the Host Masters Cup and the Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. So plenty of content throughout the next couple of days. Do check it out, do tune in. Otherwise, if you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, check out the VODs. Check out the VODs over on YouTube. You get ! socials in the chat, and you'll get a link to our YouTube channel alongside Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all things like CranKy Ducklings. Bam. As all of our links are in the chat. Again, we upload on YouTube on a daily basis. We post on the socials whenever we have a VOD, of course, as well. So plenty of content on the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you tomorrow for Thermal's 2v2 circuits, again, in 9 hours' time. Or we'll see you the day after for the Pondcast. For some more casting, some more StarCraft. I'm sure we'll see you at some point as we are live on a daily basis. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Let's have a look. Who is live? Who can we raid? Let's have a look here. Harstem is live. Oh, Harstem has plenty of viewers. Vrody is doing some Mechabellum streams. Who else is live? Strange is live, true. Sal is having breakfast. We could raid Sal. We could have breakfast together with Sal. Lambo just went live. True. Can raid Lambo. Lambo just went live. Do we want breakfast with Sal, or do we want some StarCraft ladder with Lambo? What's the plan? I'll flip a coin. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft action. Until then, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your day as well. Take care. Hydrate your hydras. Stretch your marines. Drink plenty of water, and we'll see you next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.